Think about the last time your check engine light came on. You drove to the shop. Someone plugged in a scanner. Numbers appeared on a screen. And without a single follow-up question, they handed you a repair estimate starting at $800. Here's what actually happened in that moment. That scanner read a symptom, not a cause. The code told them something in the system was off. It said nothing about why. But skipping the why is exactly how a shop turns your $15 problem into a $2,400 invoice. There are 5 sensors that get misdiagnosed more than anything else in the automotive industry. Each one produces symptoms that look expensive on the surface. Each one has a root cause that costs almost nothing to address. And every day, across thousands of shops, the expensive solution gets sold before the cheap one gets tried. I'm going to walk you through all 5, what each one actually does, how the misdiagnosis happens, and what to check yourself before you authorize a single dollar of work. The last one is the most important. It's also the one your shop has the least financial incentive to mention first. Number 5. The oxygen sensor scam. The oxygen sensor generates more replacement invoices than almost any other part in the industry. It makes sense on paper. It sits in the exhaust stream, measures oxygen levels, and feeds real-time data to the computer for fuel adjustment. When that data goes wrong, the engine runs poorly. Logical conclusion: bad sensor, replace it. Except that logic skips several steps the shop has no incentive to take. Code P0171, system running lean, shows up on the scanner. Technician quotes $400 to $600 per sensor. Modern vehicles carry up to 4 of them. The bill assembles quickly. What that code actually means: the computer detected a lean condition. A lean condition has 6 distinct causes. The oxygen sensor is one of them, and frequently not the one responsible. A customer walked in after paying $780 at a dealership for both upstream oxygen sensors on his truck. The lean code returned within 300 miles. Same code, brand new sensors. 10 minutes under the hood told the real story. The mass airflow sensor was heavily contaminated. 15 minutes of cleaning later, the code was gone permanently. The oxygen sensors he'd paid $780 for had never been the issue. One question to ask any shop before authorizing this repair: has the mass airflow sensor been inspected and cleaned? If they hesitate, you have your answer. Number 4. The MAP sensor trap. Most mechanics confuse this one with the mass airflow sensor. They sound similar. Misdiagnosing one for the other will cost you every time. If you're driving at highway speed and your engine starts surging rhythmically, or if your turbocharged car suddenly feels like the turbo completely died, you're walking into this trap. MAP, manifold absolute pressure. Instead of measuring airflow directly, it measures pressure inside the intake manifold. The computer uses that reading to calculate air density. On turbocharged engines, it also monitors boost pressure. When it sends bad data, the computer pulls power and the turbo feels completely dead. Shops hook up a scanner, see codes P0105 through P0108, and immediately quote a new MAP sensor. Add a boost leak test package if you have a turbo. Suddenly, you're at a $680 invoice. What gets skipped every time? This sensor connects to the intake manifold through a small vacuum port. That port packs with carbon and oil residue over time. The sensor itself is functioning perfectly. It simply cannot measure pressure through a passage that's no longer open. A thin wire, a small pick, a brief burst of compressed air into that port. 4 minutes of work. The surge disappears. Boost returns. The $680 stays in your account. Number 3. The crankshaft position sensor panic. This one is different. When this sensor starts acting up, the symptoms are so dramatic that people instantly panic. And panicking in a dealership waiting room is the single most expensive thing you can do. The crankshaft position sensor sits near the bottom of the engine. It tells the computer exactly where each piston is at any given millisecond. Fuel injection timing and ignition spark both depend entirely on this signal. Without it, the engine is blind. Here's what failure looks like. The engine cranks and cranks but won't start. Or, the signature symptom, it starts fine when cold, runs perfectly for 20 minutes, then suddenly stalls in traffic. Won't restart for 30 minutes. Then fires up like nothing happened. Heat-related intermittent stall. That's the giveaway. Here's where the money goes. The car won't start. Customer panics. Vehicle gets towed to the nearest dealership. Technician sees no crank signal and immediately starts talking about timing chain issues or catastrophic engine damage. Scared customers authorize a $2,000 deep dive diagnostic before a single part is even touched. The reality is often far simpler than the diagnosis suggests. That connector, positioned low on the engine, exposed to road spray, oil mist, and repeated heat cycles, corrodes. Corroded pins increase electrical resistance. Increased resistance means intermittent signal dropout when the engine is hot. The sensor is fine. The connection isn't. Unplug the connector. Clean the pins with electrical contact cleaner. A small amount of dielectric grease on reassembly. The job costs about $3 in materials and takes 10 minutes. Shops routinely quote $2,000 for the same outcome. Check the connection before you let anyone go deeper. Number 2. The throttle position sensor illusion. This is the sensor issue that gets misdiagnosed as a catastrophic transmission failure more than anything else in the industry. Picture this. You pull away from a stop and the car hesitates. It jerks between first and second gear. Power drops randomly when you press the gas. The engine surges at idle. You take it to the shop, the mechanic hooks up a scanner, sees erratic throttle data, and immediately starts talking about a major transmission overhaul. Minimum $300 just to open it up and look. The throttle position sensor tells the computer how far open the throttle plate is at any moment, and the computer uses that data to calculate fuel delivery, timing, and transmission shift points. That last part is exactly why it gets misdiagnosed. Bad sensor data means the transmission shifts at the wrong time. Too early. Too late. Hard clunks between gears. It feels exactly like a dying transmission. It is not. Over 50,000 miles, carbon builds up on the throttle plate. The plate sticks, releases, sticks again. The sensor reads that sticking as random erratic movement. Shops jump to a $900 throttle body replacement, or worse, a $3,200 transmission rebuild. A $6 can of throttle body cleaner and 20 minutes with the hood open resolves this in the majority of cases. Carbon off the plate, plate moves freely, sensor reads accurately, transmission shifts correctly. That's the sequence. Address the throttle body before anyone touches the transmission, every single time. Number 1. The Mass Airflow Sensor Mastermind. This is the one we've been building toward. This sensor exposes exactly how the diagnostic scam operates in every shop every single day. The Mass Airflow Sensor, MAF, sits between your air filter and throttle body. One job: measure exactly how much air enters your engine. The computer uses that number to calculate fuel delivery. Right air reading equals right fuel amount. Wrong reading and everything breaks down at once. The MAF's sensing elements are thinner than a human hair. Between 30,000 and 50,000 miles, a film of oil vapor and fine particulate settles on those elements. Invisible to the eye, no warning light triggered, just a gradual drift in measurement accuracy that the computer interprets as a fuel system problem. When the computer sees bad air data, it compensates through fuel delivery. Wrong compensation produces wrong combustion. The codes that follow, lean, rich, catalytic efficiency, look like fuel system failures. The shop sees those codes and builds an invoice around them. The sensor producing the bad input rarely gets examined. A customer approves $2,400 in oxygen sensors, injectors, and intake service. The work gets done. The car runs better for a few weeks. Then the original symptom returns. This cycle continues until someone addresses the actual measurement error at the source. The fix: a dedicated MAF sensor cleaner from any auto parts store, around $8. Not brake cleaner. Not carb cleaner. Both will destroy the sensing elements on contact. With the ignition off, unplug the connector and remove the sensor. Outside, 3 short bursts directly onto the sensing wire. No brushing, no swabbing, spray only. 5 minutes to dry completely. Reinstall. That's 15 minutes and $8 applied to a problem that generated a $2,400 estimate. When a shop quotes a major repair for rough idle or hesitation, one question establishes whether their diagnostic process was thorough. Has the MAF sensor been cleaned and inspected? The answer tells you everything about how the rest of the diagnosis was conducted. 5 sensors. All 5 misdiagnosed regularly. All 5 addressable at home before a single dollar changes hands. Clean the throttle body. Inspect the MAP vacuum port. Check the crankshaft sensor connector. Clean the MAF sensor before approving anything else. If your car is showing symptoms right now, rough idle, hesitation, poor fuel economy, drop the specifics in the comments. Make, model, what it's doing, when it started. I'll point you toward the right sensor to check first. If this changed how you'll approach your next shop visit, hit like and subscribe. The next video covers what's actually in the oil your shop is selling you. Worth knowing before your next service. Click it.